Yeah, we obviously it's important still, and for the players to understand practice is important to continue to get better. I think I talked to coaches around the country, friends. You get into the dog days of practice where they want to get to games. Obviously, the scrimmage helped, getting the Pitt State exhibition helped just kind of break it up. But we, now you still got to get after it and continue to improve. And you hope they have the maturity to see that. We've had some good practices. I thought Sunday morning, we were off Saturday. Sunday morning was really good. Yesterday wasn't quite as good, but it wasn't a bad practice by any means. So now get to games. We took a lot of time to watch film against Pitt State. We almost watched the entire game just so everybody that played could see themselves, offense and defense, and continue to make improvement. As far as the injuries and things go, Davion did get cleared. He got to practice a little bit yesterday, but that was the first time in probably 10 days. I would anticipate, he would not probably play Wednesday, but we'll see how today's practice goes and how he feels tomorrow to see if we can get him a little bit of run on Wednesday night if we need him. But I was pleased overall with the Pitt State exhibition. I thought our defense was pretty solid. We hopefully continue to get better with that. The turnovers was the biggest factor. And I think that was pretty glaring, especially in the first half. In the second half, we did a little better with that until the end. And now we just, we got to protect that ball, take care of that ball, and really work to get good shots. I think that's been the emphasis this last few days.
Thank you, Coach. I appreciate the comments. I will open it up to questions. So just hit the text bar to ask a question. First question to Kellis Robinette.
So, Bruce, when you went back and watched the film, what did you like most about the Pitt State game? What still concerned you a little bit?
Well, as I said, the turnovers has been the thing, and I mentioned to you guys even last week. It's probably the most glaring thing that stands out. I really believe we're good shooters, and we got a lot of weapons and versatility. We got to get shots off. I know at halftime we shot 57%. But you have 12 turnovers. So if you just cut that in half and those possessions you get shots off, you got another 3 field goals possibly, or you're getting to the free throw line. So, I think that's the big thing. Some of that's, still figuring out who we are, newness. You got to, we played a lot of new guys last week. So that's part of it. Our defense has been pretty good. Our postie was not very good against them. And it's, we really talked about, I think Casey doesn't want to get in foul trouble. So sometimes he plays a little tentative and then he ends up getting fouls. And, be aggressive, move your feet. I keep telling, one of the messages this week is play defense before your guy gets the ball, not when he gets the ball. There's good players around the country. And if you let them get the ball in their comfort zone, they're going to take you. They're going to go after you. So I think those are, things we got to get better at. Our rebounding has been pretty good, but we still, when we watch film, we don't always box out. And I don't want that to be a difference factor. We did out rebound a bigger Oregon team in the scrimmage, and then Pitt State, wasn't as small, or was a little smaller. They weren't, we were bigger than them, and we out rebounded them. But you still see the blockouts that have to get better, because when we get teams that crash, and especially as you get into the league, you're going to have to make sure you block out.
And we've asked a little bit about, how Mike's role maybe changes this year, being more efficient, taking fewer shots, making more. I'm curious, what does Nigel's role look like this season in a perfect world? Is it the same, or how do you see that?
Well, I think all of them, I think with our versatility and our depth, they may not get as many shots as last year, but then, as you just mentioned, the word to me is a key word is efficiency and then consistency. That's important. You look at Selton, only 9 shots, but he made 6 of them against Pitt State. That to me, that's efficient. And you're not going to have every game shoot 66%, but we don't need the 1 for 9s. We got too many good players, and again, work to get better shots. I was hoping that after it, I would hope that Mike got a few more shots, in Pitt State, and maybe a couple of those turnovers would allow that to get a better shot. But if we can keep him, Nigel, Mark, where they're getting 8 to 12 shots and have good balance between those guys. And then, with Selton and Marquise also getting, from 6 to 10 shots, depending on the game. I think they can be effective and we can be consistent. I think that's the big thing we need to get.
Thanks, Bruce.
Mm-hmm.
Next question to Michael Goins.
Yeah, Bruce, how long does it take you really to get a rotation set early in the season?
Well, I think it'll take a little bit of time, and I'm not sure who's going to start. We'll see how things go today. Ironically, and this is something we've emphasized to the players in the Oregon scrimmage, Mark did not start. He was our leading scorer. He had, was almost a double in that game. And then, we gave him a starting opportunity, and Selton moved to the coming off the bench. And then ironically, he's the leading scorer. Both, and then Logan's the second leading scorer, and he's coming off the bench. So I hope they're trying to understand that, hey, starting, I know it's important. It's great to run out there, but it's almost more important for our team that when you come in, you're consistent. And if you play well, you're going to stay on the court. And, and again, that goes back to our versatility. And I hope that becomes our strength. But at the same time, we got to know who's can shoot the ball and the tempo of the game, where we can get those guys good shots. And I hope that's the part of the rotation, figuring out the roles, the rotation over the next 2-3 weeks. I did a radio show last night, and our next one is December 2nd. I think we're going to have 6 games done by then. And I think by that time, you'll have a little better feel of our rotation and our roles, which is, important, our development as a team.
And were Davion available and playing on a regular basis? What does that do to Logan's role in the rotation, and just where does he fit?
Well, Logan has played in practice. He's played almost more 4, and because you got Casey and then Davion kind of rotating against each other. He has rotated in the 5. I think the big thing with him, if teams are playing small ball, it would be hard for him to play the 4. If teams are a little bigger, he could play some 4. He's got pretty good skill. The only thing I worry about with a young guy like that, and he just trying to learn both positions, it takes a little bit of toll on him mentally. He gets a little frustrated, but he wants to do well and he wants to learn, comes in almost every day just to talk, watch film, so he's had a great attitude as far as that goes.
And has Selton Miguel kind of felt like he's settled in a little more this year?
I hope so. We'll see how it goes. Coach Henderson and myself sat down with him early last week, and we just kind of just understanding, it's with all guys, understanding your strengths, your weaknesses, your role, how you can help the team, but still working at getting better at some of the other stuff. And you still can get better every day in practice and coming in extra. So I hope he can and be happy and satisfied. Again, play well, use your minutes, play to exhaustion. If you do those things, you're gonna have success, and we'll have success.
Thank you, Bruce.
Other questions for Coach? Just raise your hand in the toolbar. Coach, since ever gave some more questions, can you give us a kind of a preview on Florida A&M? I know they return a lot of players.
A lot of the guys played for them when they came here 3 years ago. Was a game I think we led by 15 or so at halftime, got it into the 20s. They cut it back down. I think it still ended up 18 or 20 at the end. But they got some veterans. They have one 6-year guy because of COVID, 2 5-year guys, a 4-year guy. As I mentioned, a lot of them played against us the last time they came here. So they got some experience. They do have some athleticism, some depth. Randolph has been their leading scorer, not a kind of anti what guards are now. He doesn't shoot the ball from 3 a whole lot. A lot of pull-ups, getting to the hoop. He leads them in assists, leads them in steals. Very, very productive player for them. They can go kind of mismatch with a mobile 5 at times, and they'll run him off for some threes and put you in a little bit of bind with that part of it. So, they can come at you with a lot of different defenses. So I think it's good. I would anticipate some zones, some presses, things that keep us off balance. But they've also played man at times also. They could trap us, in different situations. So it's a good game for our guys we're going to have to play basketball and make decisions and read what they give us.
I know he has a long history with Coach Kruger.
Yes.
Is there any similarities to how they play on how maybe his Oklahoma teams played?
Yeah, they're going to run some of the same offensive sets that Lon ran. We call it Gator action, which Lon was used a lot way back when he was at Florida, and kind of a shuffle into singles, and then he was with Dana also, Altman. So a little bit Dana's matchup zone and press, that 3-quarter press. So you'll see some of those things that those coaches usually go back. Who did you work for? Who's your mentors? And then that's why you end up coaching that way. So, but they have some veteran guys, and we're ready to play at a high level and excited about the opening game.
Thank you, Coach. We'll go to Grant Flanders for the next question.
Hey, Coach, I wanted to ask about Luke Kazuki, and how important do you think some of these non-conference games are to really get his confidence going this season?
Yeah, I kind of told you guys last week at the press conference, he might have been one of the bigger surprises for our team. And he had been really, really consistent. And then he didn't play real well against Pitt State. I'm not sure why or what, but he's a guy that can just give us little things. He does defend well. He can make open shots, execution, of our sets. Great teammate, comes every day, battles, never says a word. You don't have to deal with negativity or dealing with. I think more than anything, a little bit. Going when we had Dean when he was young, be confident, have that mojo, kind of what you're talking about, hey, you're a good player, be a player, play like a player. And, but he's still young, and, he missed most of last year. And we talked about it. We put him in games when he probably wasn't ready, but I hope that experience helps him. And he can be a really nice factor for us off the bench and give us some nice production.
And then I thought, Marquise did a lot of really good things well against Pitt State, but then he did a lot of other things that would probably be detrimental to, tougher competition. Yeah. How do you
Yes.
get that out of him? Keep the good in him, but take some of that bad out of him.
It's that fine line. And, I think a couple times he actually outran his dribble. He was running faster than his dribble could keep up with him. And, but again, that's, he's like a lot of, he's not a young guy, but it's new. He's got something to prove. He wants to show everyone, but you just got to play basketball and learn what you can do and figure. I think the role part is one of our big steps coming up here, that rotation and that role part. And then, we just keep telling them, if you can't make a play every time you touch it. And also he is a good shooter with good range. Let other people make plays for you. You don't have to make your own play all the time. And I think that's just something it's got to evolve, hopefully over the next few weeks.
Then the last one I got for you, do you think Casey's foul issue is more on his knee, or do you think he's still trying to get back in the swing of things?
I think sometimes Casey outthinks himself, and he's worried about fouls because it has been something that's plagued him, even going back when he was at El Paso. If you look up his stats there, and it's like if there's a loose ball, the guy that dives on it usually doesn't get hurt. The guy that stands there and reaches gets his legs taken out. It's the same thing on defense. If you are worried about fouls, you're a step behind, and now you get a foul. If you're on your toes and you're aggressive and play defense before you catch it, before your man catches it, then usually you stay out of foul trouble. And I think that's where he's got to take a step. He's got to get on his toes, be a little more active on his line. We always call line of the ball, be at the line of the ball, line of your man. And I hope it helps him stay out of foul trouble.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep.
Next question to Ryan Gilbert.
Hey, Coach, just wanted to ask about Carlton Lingard. Do you anticipate getting him back anytime soon?
Well, he did have another little procedure last week. And I'm sorry, I had a call come in. He did have a little procedure last week, and he did some running for the first time. And again, just after the procedure on Sunday and Monday, and we're hoping to get him back on the basketball court by next week. I think that's our goal. Maybe a little 5-on-0 at the end of the week, and then get him back on the court. But it would be nice. It would be nice for him, and it would also give us a little more depth. I'm afraid of wearing down Casey and Davion in practice without subs. And, it's something that, I think practices are always a lot tougher on the guys in games. So the more depth we have, the more it's going to help us as far as that goes. And it also, Carlton gives us length, and he's really good shooting ability. And it would be nice to get him back with our group.